heard about YWLP back in middle school. I was actually a little in the program. I started in seventh grade and stayed in it until eighth grade. And it was one of the best experiences of my middle school career because it really taught me a lot about community and I made a lot of friends in the program. Middle school can be really rough because you're like changing and developing. And making friends can be kind of hard, but being in that program, it gave me a voice and I learned to be a leader in my classes. Best YWLP memory has to be when we went and volunteered at the Ronald McDonald House. It was our service project at the time, and it was my first time volunteering or doing anything like really in my community. And I didn't even know what the Ronald McDonald House was at the time. And so it was my first experience volunteering, and that really stuck with me to the point where even in high school, by senior year, I was involved in multiple volunteer groups and I worked in my community quite often because it just stuck with me and it helped me realize the importance of just being involved. Currently, I am a mentor in YWLP. This is my first year mentoring and working with the program. I just go to the middle school once a week and work with youth, spend time with them. And it's a fun experience because I get to learn from them and they get to learn from me. And it's all about guidance on both ends. YWLP, one of the most important things about the program is that it is centered around women and young female voices. And this is really inspiring because when I was a younger girl, I didn't have very many female role models. And sometimes it felt like the pop stars that we had around and the YouTubers I watched weren't quite doing what I wanted to eventually do with my life at the time. And so I didn't have a solid role model. And my goal was to get into college. So to have these female college students come down to my middle school once a week and talk to me specifically about being a leader and showing me how they got where they were, where I eventually wanted to be, was very inspiring. And even more inspiring considering I wanted to go to UVA and I got to work with college students from UVA. And now I go to UVA. And having these female role models really showed me that there really is no set in stone box to check off to get where you want to go. Anybody can get there. It's just a matter of putting yourself out there and being around people who support your goals and your dreams. For the youth that know of opportunities around them to get involved in mentoring or being a mentee, but are nervous or scared to get into it, I say go for it because you will learn a lot about yourself. It can open you up to a different community that you might not have in your regular school day. I also say this is something that I actually learned from my current mentee, but she is a very outspoken young lady. She's very courageous, and she told me, dare to be different. And sometimes in our youth, it's really hard to allow ourselves to go out of the status quo. And when I was a mentee, I was really worried about doing something that maybe would seem weird to my peers or seem like I was being too much or extra. But by daring to be different, you can really learn a lot about yourself and about others and find community with people who are similar to you and have similar aspirations.